Very, very good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so very much for finding time to join us. My name is Jagpreet Singh. You can see that on the screen, and I am director at Zoxima Solutions. Zoxima Solution is a proud partner to Microsoft, and we are very focused manufacturing domain experts. Especially working on the distribution side solutions, sales side solutions. Uh, One of the major verticals for us happens to be building material, and that's why we all are here. So we've worked with over 25 odd customers in building material alone, having different solutions implemented, including SFA, DMS, lead management solutions, influencer apps, retailer solutions, customer end solutions, key account management solution kind of applications, including collaboration, artificial intelligence, and everything. So today we have Mr. Prakash Joshi coming from Microsoft. I know him for last 10 years. He's been with Microsoft for, if I'm right, Prakash, over 10 years now. And he's been a solution evangelist. In fact, for many years, people have been learning new technologies which are introduced by Microsoft through him. And he's been key with a lot of large project initiatives as well for over 10 years. So I'm actually passing it over to him. He would be starting this session, and then I will take over from him to talk about the building material solutions. Over to you, Prakash.
Hi, Jagpreet. Thank you so much. And welcome to all our esteemed guests. Today, we are with one of our most innovative partners in Zoxima, and the kind of solutions they build and the closeness to which the solution is to the customer requirements and the way it solves the customer requirements is incredible. And you will find that as we go along the way. So I will take a couple of slides, set the context. Jagpreet will take over, do a demo, then I'll come back and kind of try to present what is new. Apologies for the date. I didn't get the chance to change it. I had created a presentation a few days ago. I would like to start with a demo. So everybody is hearing of Copilot and Chat GPT and all that. And here I am on the Bing browser. I switched over to Bing a few days ago because it allowed me to do a lot of stuff. And I have this icon here. I pull the icon and it allows me to ask lots of questions. And one of the questions that I have to just save on time, I had actually uh, got the question ready and let me just cut paste it. So I'm going to go on a vacation near Rishikesh, and I just wanted to know how do I go around and what do I do. So I just add that into Bing. Instead of typing it here, which I could have very well done, I can also put it in the chat. And now what it does is it goes through its large language models. It uses the chat GPT and other models to understand what I'm trying to do and comes back to me with an answer. So it says Haridwar, Dehradun, Kantal, and all that. Now, Haridwar, I know, Dehradun, I know, the rest of places I didn't know. So it will come up. I'm from Mumbai and I'm not from that side from north, so I won't know much. But now my brother is there. I want to go visit him and do it. And I get answers. And you see, this is a step change in the way we were searching the web sometime back and the way we are searching it now. I can go and also ask a question which is like more relevant to the industry from where you come. So let's say that I'm, kind of. So one place I saw how it is helping me as a consumer, and I just want to show it right within the context of your business. So let's say building materials, tiles is something that is there. So I'm asking for few suggestions of tile brands for a bathroom, okay, in Mumbai, and I'm specifying Mumbai, and it will go and start searching and use its large language models to come up and give me some names. So you see, this is something that we can use as consumers, but we have to be also aware as brand owners that how are people going to find me in the future? And is this something like going to happen? And we are seeing in the last 1 month, we've been making a lot of announcements around it. And this was just a precursor to kind of excite all of you to where the industry is going and how it can be done. And we've got an innovation in one of the apps that we built, which we may not have the time to show today, but we'll put it in the chat where I tell the system, hey, build this kind of app from me. And typically all the apps that we have been using, either on the mobile or on the browser, there's a form and then you fill something, you click something, or you use a drop down and things happen. For the developer, it is similar. So now we have a facility whereby we can tell saying, hey, build this kind of app for me. Then it will try to build the app with some sample data. So I can say, add more sample data, change some of the data types, etc. And in the end, it can build an app. But after it builds the app, it gives a similar chat box where I can start looking at the app. So your people in the field who are there visiting dealer, distributors, retailers, or even a customer can simply start typing or talking into that app and it can start answering. So it's a new paradigm shift that is going to happen. And we'll look at that a little more later. We'll get back to the presentation. Okay, so quickly moving forward. So we have seen that COVID has come and COVID has changed many things in terms of how many days you go to the office, especially if you're a person like me who is working on a laptop. Can't avoid it for people who are in the field. They need to go into the field. But all these companies and all these industries are realizing that, you have to get resilient and you have to use a lot more digital capabilities in making sure that your organizational priorities of growth, of market coverage, of profitability, of sales, of compliance, of reducing cost, all those are met. And in your kind of industry, the things that are coming to the fore are brand performance. Your brand needs to be on the top. When the field is open, it is like pre-COVID times or like now, you may not be the top 5, 10 brands, but you can still survive. But once you get into that kind of scenario, you suddenly start seeing the top brands are the ones which are surviving and thriving, and the other brands are barely surviving. So how do you optimize your brand performance is a question that a lot of organizations are asking. That's one part that I would put here. Then the second thing is that you need to connect your enterprise. Uh, it's about speed and agility. And if your competitor has a better connected enterprise, one person can on a chat ask someone else outside of WhatsApp. WhatsApp is okay as long as it's personal, but you can't secure it. I've had the experience of my car insurance renewal. So I'm speaking from Wednesday to Friday with the person over WhatsApp, and she changes job on Monday and goes to another company, and that conversation continues on WhatsApp. I even don't know that the lady has changed the company, and then she proposes another brand, and I end up almost buying that insurance. You don't want that to happen. So you want everybody who is digitally connected in your enterprise and even your suppliers and your distributor dealers to be authenticating against their enterprise credentials, not against their personal credentials. And once you start connecting your enterprise through last point with a dealer distributor to the first point of a supplier, then you suddenly start getting speed and efficiencies which were unheard of before. And there are many examples of that we can take up later once Jagpreet has done the demo. Then you deliver operational excellence. So this ability to either speak structured information through an app to others or through unstructured information through emails and more like chats over Teams, etc., or through what we call our frontline applications. You can get to the area of delivering operational excellence because now you already have an IT footprint with the last person who is facing the customer and the last person who is probably supplier. And because you have that connectivity, which is unstructured, you can start putting apps in there. And then you suddenly start getting a structured ability. And as you do that, you're able to deliver operational excellence, cut on time, cut on cost, cut on blockers for sale to happen and for profit to be realized. So that's the third thing that is happening in the market. And then while doing this, people are realizing, how do I accelerate innovation? I'm doing a few things, but how do I do better? So that's where it starts getting. I hope you're able to see and hear. Jagri, just give me a thumbs up. I can see you. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So that's the second piece, the fourth piece of it. And as you see the applications that Jagpreet is showing in the demo, you will see that, the brand can be there on the mobiles. The brand's experience with the retailer and distributor would be in terms of seeing immediate availability of stock that needs to be given, the credit limits that are left, and so many things. So that also gets into brand performance, not so much with the customer, but with the channel. And he will show you many more examples where these four themes can resonate with you. Like you're taking photographs, and from the photographs, you're doing data entry in terms of a new outlet. So amazing thing innovation can drive. And all this, therefore, also results in the data coming to a single place. And as data comes to a single place, it becomes the fuel to drive AI. I already showed you some small example of AI. Later on, after Jagpreet's demo, I will show you more examples. But this ability for us to digitize everything is of paramount importance. We are seeing it happen at the country level. The India stack, which has Aadhaar, which has the digital payment gateways, etc., you're already seeing so much change happen. And all these changes can be amplified, and in due course, uh, it will also make sure that the benefits of that, like the country is getting, you will also get the minute you start connecting all your different digital islands together. So that's the Uber point. And there have been large number of organizations who have done a very structured methodology to determine the benefit of these data-driven transformations. And they're seeing like 50% plus increasing revenue, typically at the cost of a competitor. Okay, a faster time to market. Now, my salesperson who is, let's say, in Cherrapunji has a Teams frontline app, which is some license is just some 200 rupees or lesser, and he's able to chat in front of the customer to his manager or to the plant or to the depot or whoever, and get an answer and give it then and there to his customer. It could be a distributor, retailer, or a consumer, whatever. And that starts getting your customer satisfaction up, that starts getting your profit up. So it is either a virtuous cycle for people who digitize and start getting these benefits, and for the competitors is the other way around, and they start getting into a downward spiral. So this is truly happening. And once Jagpreet is through his demo, I will explain and try to give you some more examples. This is happening because there is this new organization which has created open AI models, which are very large scale models. And they have worked with us to bring it to the cloud. So the customers bring their data to the cloud, which is theirs, protected, not visible to Microsoft, not used by Microsoft for anything. And that leads to many services like ChatGPT, Codex. Codex is of not so much of interest to you other than your IT teams, where it helps to write code, and Dolly, etc. So which we'll look at later. So I'll pause here, allow Jagpreet to take over, get through the demo. But the essential part is that the days of accelerated digitization are here. And that digitization cannot be only in the headquarters and only at manager levels, but it has to be at the front end of where business happens. And that's where we can see some excellent demo from Jagpreet and team in terms of how they have not only built these applications, but how these applications are today actually being used by customers. And as they go and start talking of the feature functions, you'll realize how well entrenched they are and how they understand that this is not one vertical, but it is a set of many micro verticals, which each customer in a micro vertical having their own nuances and differences in which they want their apps. Pausing here, Jagpreet, take over, do the demo, and then I'll come back for the closing.
Thank you so much, Prakash. Thank you so much. This was really insightful. In fact, we also have Raman Dhuria with us. He's again an old friend. Over I think 15 years I know him. Ex SAP, I know him from SAP days. SAP, then many years with Microsoft. So overall, I think around 25 years of experience, and now he's director corporate business for Microsoft. So Raman, over to you. Can you share some insight from your side?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Jagpreet. Jagpreet, can you hear me? Okay, great. So thanks, Prakash, for taking some time because I got stuck in another meeting. But Prakash has beautifully summed up what organizations are looking forward when they are looking for digital story. I will take a step forward and I say, okay, as we were all hearing about data being the new oil, how do we plan a data strategy? I will just take help of one slide, which is more of a practical blueprint for you to figure out how to make the next steps. I mean, so we know what we need to achieve. We all know about, I mean, I was in a conference last week and everyone is talking chat GPT now. But how does it make sense to me? How do I take more value out of that? How does it connect with my ERP, whether it is SAP, non-SAP or anything? Where does my data come from? I think that is where I wanted to share from my practical experience on how the world is moving and how then Jagpreet, whatever he is going to show you as solutions going to fit into your strategy over there. Let me just take help of one slide. Please let me know if you're able to see my slide. Jagpreet, is
Yes,
it
please.
visible? I can't see my slide
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay, so it's a busy slide, but it's a very simple slide. If I show you what is happening in this slide is, if you see these are data sources, it's either your ERP systems or supply chain systems, it can be SAP, it can be your dynamic system or any other ERP. They are sources of data. And then there are manufacturing systems at your plant level, supply chain level, and even your systems like customer experience, which Jakprit will talk about, sales CRM and service CRM, or even your ISV solutions on, let's say, digital plant connected workers. So all these are data sources. Now, what does an organization do with that when they talk about data? These are data sources where data is coming from. Once you identify that, gone are the days when people say that please start customizing your core systems. They say keep your core systems as simple as possible because most of the principal companies are bringing new versions every year. And as a result of which, you will never be able to adopt new innovation if you start customizing them to the maximum. So keep them at the lowest level, go to the mandatory ones only. So they say bring your data on the cloud first into a cloud PaaS, which can be Azure in this case. And we have a lot of innovative use cases where this decoupled innovation of data getting processed in the cloud again and essentially leading to three different types of use cases. You can extend and integrate, let's say in case of SAP or even any other ERP, data into low code front ends. So now think about the top layer over here as a employee experience or user experience, or it can be even supplier experience or a customer experience. So this is an area where Microsoft is super strong in. You all know, I mean, ChatGPT is also going to mine this data and give you interesting insights. We saw a demo of Copilot last week. Now, if you look at your data strategy, data sources, where data coming from, how is the data getting processed on the cloud in Azure, and then through the decoupled innovation, I'm doing either extending and integrating this data into low code scenarios, or I am even integrating third party solutions. I mean, look at Jagpreet's solution. He has built into low code scenarios. He has built into Dynamics 365. And you get a beautiful solution from a partner which talks about the building industry. I mean, how the building industry can adopt digital innovation. Now, they have built a layer on top of it, which is their solution for a vertical, but end of the day, the core strategy remains the same. In fact, we are even seeing scenarios where customers are innovating in the cloud by creating their own digital experiences. Now, a simple point is we have created some bots within Teams which can extract data from your ERP and present you in real time. Now, this can be part of mobile Salesforce application strategy also, where on one side, you let, our partner present you what you can do on mobile SFA on the cloud, on the Dynamics platform, on the Power Apps platform. On the second side, bring the power of bringing that into Teams also. So what I was talking about, low code, no code, and productivity and collaboration areas, this is where companies are already using Microsoft products. So how data is being presented now to the top management, this is what will decide how much insights you can bring from, let's say, shop floor to the boardroom. That is the whole story behind this. And I think this is where Microsoft can provide you end-to-end experience rather than just talking about that, okay, I do this part of the point solution or this part of the point solutions. We have all kegs in the block, and we can present a complete story to you. I think I will not get into details of what Jagpreet is going to show, but I will just give you a snapshot, like simple example on the distribution cloud story, which Jagpreet will bring out in his demo also. We talk about the core ERP as one source of data, and then on the headquarters side, then there is a dynamic CRM, and this is built on Dynamics platform. And then on the Power Apps, you have distributor app and a field source. So complete Microsoft platform built by our partner, and it can do a number of things which they will talk about. Provide you AI driven insights. It can even bring you conversational AI insights, and in form of field force efficiency, product recommendations, sales forecasting, and a lot of other stuff which can be differentiators for your company. So I think I will let Jagpreet talk more about this and take it forward, because in the interest of time, you should see the actual product also in motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raman, and thanks everyone for joining in. In fact, Raman, I picked up a couple of things. I would, before I start, I kind of, want to talk about it. So you said a couple of things. Of course, there is ChatGPT, there is a lot of AI that we are using. You also spoke about, how well we integrate with the ERP, whether it is SAP, outside your ERPs, and how we can actually pick up the information and show it on a chatbot to maybe our distributor or a dealer in the market, and he can actually see what is the status of his order, or let's say the credit limit or something like that, whether he's crossed the credit days or something like that, on the fly.
Right.
This is something that I will also try to cover in my demonstration. Again, one of the things which you said, while I'm also pulling up my presentation, one of the things you said is that this kind of spectrum Microsoft covers, whether it is collaboration, whether it is AI or data analytics, or let's say, the kind of applications that you bring in with amazing low code, no code platform, that's something that also attracts partners like us to Microsoft. So here, I would openly say that, our journey did not start with Microsoft, while we started with a complete product, as a platform, because our focus was always, to work on the manufacturing segment with our distribution sales solutions. But we realized over a period of time that, Microsoft would be the best fit for us, because after working with the clients, we felt that it is not only the, smart apps or the applications that the customers need, but they also need a lot of collaboration. They need I would say data capabilities, data analytics, and AI capabilities. Then they also need something, which can change on the fly. So while we bring in a lot of expertise in terms of understanding this domain, working with building material companies, but Microsoft definitely an amazing platform which has actually strengthened our solution for over a period of time now. I'll quickly jump onto my presentation. Just let me know, Raman, if you can see my presentation. PPT is visible.
Yeah, I think it's visible. So
Perfect.
Only thing I would like to say is next time, use the end user experience on Surface. You will have a different experience.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. So I will directly jump on to what we have for building material industry. As I said that it is productivity and it is collaboration, which is even more important than the applications that we have. Of course, I will talk about the smart apps that we've built. I'll show the apps, in fact, we've built for different actors within the building material industry. When I talk of, in fact, building material industry, we have many different actors. One is of course the senior management, which is more interested to see what is happening around, how my sales is faring on the ground, what is my relationship with the dealers and distributors that is happening, whether there is a tight control on the credit or no. Then there is marketing team, which is more interested to see the overall lead gen that they are doing for this time. Actually, a lot of building material companies are actually focusing on the leads more than the traditional order booking system, because they understand that if they are able to create the market, the material will get pushed through the channel. So then we have distributors and dealers who need apps. Then we have salespeople, whether they are dealing with the primary parties, secondary parties, or they're managing the key accounts, or they are the trade salespeople. So there are multiple actors, and other than smart apps, they also need a lot of collaboration in terms of communication, in terms of getting the right documents when it is required. So entire document management system, a collaboration system, communication system, and maybe the bots and smartness of the system that helps them being more productive. So all comes together. All comes together as a complete solution. Whether it is the as I said, the trade sales team which is on the field and actually generating IHB leads or booking orders to the dealers, or it is the key account management team which needs more information, more insightful information about working with architects, working with large contractors, etc. So a collaboration becomes the key here. So about Zoxima very quickly and about the solution, we can proudly say that when it comes to the customer side of the business, we almost cover everything when it comes to building material industry, and we've worked with a lot of building material companies already. Within building material, we worked with cement companies, we worked with TMT and steel companies. We worked with ply companies, we worked with glass companies, we worked with piping and fitting companies, we worked with paints and chemicals related companies as well. Again, as I said, that we did not start our journey with Microsoft, but the Microsoft platform has given us a very, very different wing to actually offer very comprehensive kind of solutions. If I talk of solutions, we have, as I said, that we have SFA applications, which is Salesforce automation. That means that we have trade sales solutions. We have non-trade kind of applications where key account management is managed. We also have, quality assurance teams, especially in cements and some other micro verticals within building material. Then we have influencer apps. While I understand, many customers keep using their own influencer apps, and we integrate with those influencer and loyalty systems, but we also offer influencers apps on Azure. Along with that, of course, the dealer management system or distributor management system, depending on which micro vertical we are talking about. The retailer apps we have. Then, on the call center side, there is a lot of order booking happening these days. Those applications we have where the call center team can receive orders and they can book orders on the fly. There could be OTP confirmations also, just ensuring that things are done properly. Then a lot of focus on IHP leads. I understand that the bottom line lies in IHP leads, and a lot of companies are actually focusing on IHP leads. So we have complete system there. Whether it is engaging the customer directly or engaging the influencers. So the entire system, and then how do we nurture the lead and close it with a good bottom line? That's the kind of solution we talk about. I already spoke about the key account management, where the large businesses there, volumes are there. So when we again when I said that we have end-to-end solution with a complete spectrum of technology, that's what we have as an offering for building material industry. I think I spoke largely about everything across. The important thing I would want to say is that we've lived in this industry for a very long period. Almost 8 years we've been working within building material industry, and we've, as I said, that we've worked within cement, TMT, steel, plywood, paints, chemicals, ceramics, pipes, and tanks. So we've actually worked across some of the customers, and as I was saying that with Microsoft, what we can do is we can actually have native kind of apps using their platform. That's something which is very, very handy. It becomes very easy for the ground sales people to use these apps comfortably and manage their transactions. Then we have collaboration built in. You will see it in the demo when I run you through the demo. In fact, people can collaborate, they can talk to each other, they can share documents. For example, marketing launches a new product. They can actually share the entire documentation to the sales team for them to maybe present to their dealers or influencers and talk about the features, etc. So all those things are built in, and then a lot of AI. So, for example, my trade salesperson visiting the shop and taking a picture where competition scheme is there. from the picture, the system can take up the data and then, collate that data and give it back to the management or the marketing team to take the right decisions. Just one example. There could be multiple scenarios. Bots is another very big scenario. We are extensively using bots in our solutions. So I think I've spoken about everything, but one important thing is that the still the applications that I'm talking about are the customer side of the application. They still cannot work in silos. We still need a lot of information to come from ERPs, whether you're using SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft ERPs. So we have integrations built in for almost every ERP. We work with all three large ERPs with different clients. And the kind of platforms that I'm talking about, it connects with over 700 different systems, when it comes to, it has built-in connectors. So, over 700 systems can be connected without actually, going for true API kind of integration. While APIs are there in the backend, I'm talking a little technical here, but it gives you connectors to almost every kind of system that we can talk about, whether it is an ERP, logistics system, social media systems. Let's say somebody tweets and we wish to track it. Actually, somebody tweets and we wish to track it as a lead or as a case. All those automations are also within this application. I will talk about RPA kind of capabilities. So having said that, I think I've spoke a lot about applications, what we can do. I will quickly run you through a small video, which is a product video which we have created, just to take you through whatever I was talking about. Just give me a moment. I hope my screen is visible and you can see the video.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. So I'll keep pausing in between and talking about what we have to show. So we spoke about SFA. We spoke about how visit planning can be done in the system, how the lead management can be managed, whether it is key accounts or the IHP leads. We talk about bots. We talk about dealer management systems. We have apps for dealers. We have web application for dealers. We have influencer apps. Then we also have very innovative solutions for scheme management. One of the large cement company, in fact, we've implemented the scheme management. Then in paints company also we've implemented the scheme management, where you have trade promotions or schemes, whatever we call it. So that solution is also available. And then I think let's live with the demo. That'll be better. So this is Power BI based dashboard. So whatever we're doing on the ground, in fact, we are, the system allows you to have very dynamic kind of analytics possible on the data. So we are looking at the order booking. We are looking at which product is performing better for which retailers or dealers, just trying to analyze the order booking data, which I have from the market. Then again, this is my sales team performance, what they're doing on the ground. Where are they in terms of their achievements, their attendance, their market visits, etc. Now, this is more of the key account management. So in one shot, I'm able to see what are the large deals which are going on, or whether I'm running those or my competition is running. So I'm doing all the analysis here. This is Excel kind of view, which is very comfortable generally for the users. So in fact, this application also interacts with Excel very positively. So you can open the entire sheet in Excel online, work in a collaborated environment, and still enjoy the security and everything of the application. So as of now, we are in the application. We can use this within Excel as well. That experience is also available. So we are looking at what competition is offered in a particular deal, and then if we get into a detail of a particular opportunity, we get to see what are the project details, what are the products which are there, what are the quote that has been given, the entire relationship matrix. We are looking at who are the parties, whether they are influencers, they are architects, or they are large contractors who are actually bidding. So typically we understand there'll be contractors who will be bidding for the opportunities, and then you will be working with multiple contractors to ensure to basically back the deal. And with the with the influencers, basically architects, you might be positioning your products and making sure that you kind of come in list of make, and you are the you are one of the preferred vendors for the end customer. So that's how you influence the relationship with your contractors. That's what we understand. And we have complete BD module, we have complete sales module, we have booking module as well, within that. So from quote to contracts and supplies is something that you can manage. Needless to say, there are all your meetings, relationship can be managed. Opportunity score can also be seen automatically from the system. So AI based analytics, it is giving you a fair health check. Basically, this is again AI based analysis. As I said, the quotations can be created from here. The contracts then can be, once you win the contract, can be pushed into your ERP or SAP. Cross-sell options can be shown. When, let's say, typically I've seen that within building material there could be different teams and they might be working with the same client, but there is a chance that I sell X product category and my Y product category will follow that opportunity. So that can be passed on. So collaboration can be established. So this is again, very deep lead analysis, region by, on the map. We can see the heat map, where exactly my leads are. This will be more relevant when it comes to IHB kind of leads. We are talking about IHB lead analysis here. My trade sales team is generating leads and I'm able to see what closures are happening. Now, I'm actually jumping from module to module, so you can pardon me because we've limited time, so I'm going really fast here. But this is my advanced planning tool where I can plan my visits. So basically, what we will see here is that the visits system can also suggest. We are talking about mostly this is used in the trade scenario more, because we have big number of visits in a day. 7 to 8 visits or 10 visits during the day. So the system intelligently is giving you indications on where exactly you should be going. So if you see there are planned visits, when we go in there, we'll see manager suggested visits, we'll see system suggested visits, and then how can we plan the visits. So whatever parties are there, they are getting listed. We are able to categorize them through all parties or the planned visit which are given by the system itself. I can select and I can push some of the visits to plan. Good thing is that my areas are automatically getting popped up at the bottom basis the party selected. So I can make my monthly plan along with the visits, and I can see which day I want to visit which area. And if I'm manager, I'm also able to choose it for my sales team. Otherwise, I can do it for myself. So you see system suggested, manager suggested, then you can actually drop some of the visits. So system will also keep a track that you did not choose what your manager or system suggested, and then whatever you wish to pick manually. So this is all intelligent, this is all intelligence based, visit planning. Now, this is the SFA app or the app that people are using on the ground. You see there are, there is a lot of 2B kind of analysis person is doing on the home page. Let's say if he has to achieve some kind of target, there are nudges which system is suggesting. It is also saying that schedule this particular visit, there is a chance, likelihood to book an order. So things like that can happen. But this is the mobile app. This is the kind of interface that you can use where you can get to see dashboards on the fly for all analysis as an individual salesperson as well. And the app is available across all phones, all smartphones. So you have your daily, weekly, monthly reports, different KRAs, target versus achievement. You have attendance management. We have Google integration. We have daily start day and then check in, check out for each visit. So basically the person is starting day, he will be doing the market visit. Can take the selfie as well if required. I mean, we can have checks and balances depending on your needs. the moment he submits, the clock starts, and that's how his day report starts building up. Then the visit planning can also be done on the fly on the mobile phones. So you can plan your visits. The visits could be categorized for as dealer visits, retailer visits, influencer visits, or the lead visits or scouting, whatever the person is doing. So basically choosing the date and then choosing the parties where he wants to visit, which area, all that can be done on the fly. Planned or unplanned visits can be made. Then it is also, as I said, that this is Google integrated. One is that, there is location tapping. Then second is also smart planning. If I just stop here, it can also show you by distance and by time, what will be my best route. It can also show you the related parties which are available. So let's say if you're already planning a visit, you can see if there are nearby parties, you wish to call them. The calls can also be made from the system itself. And then, you can fix up some meetings and visit them as well. So basically, it's giving you some smart indications that on the ground, on the map itself, you can see if there are important parties nearby with some information. So you can also plan ad hoc visits there, or you can also choose the shortest possible route or by time, if you wish to save. So here he's saying within 5 kilometers or 1 kilometer, that we can fix depending on which segment we are in. Starting a visit. So within visit, the person can actually do visibility survey, or if there is competition prices, if there is compete product which is there, etc. That's the kind of survey. Then we'll also see the booking order. Then customer 360. Entire thing is available on the mobile phone. So actually, we've built apps in such a way that one, they are very user friendly. Secondly, the person does not need to log in into the laptop at all. While the application is definitely available on the web as well, but the person does not need to do anything on the laptop. He can do everything on the mobile app itself. I'm talking of the trade sales people, especially. While the non-trade, I understand, there are key deals and you typically need to have something on the laptop as well. But here we made it so handy that it's very, very easy to use on the mobile. Taking picture, trying to get information from the competition. Then also brand visibility photos can be taken. So we'll see order management quickly. So here I would also want to add that, within building material, I believe the order management for different micro verticals is different. So for example, if I talk of cement, I think there is generally a single product order in trade. While, if I talk about paints and chemicals, there could be 20 products in my single order. So depending on that, we have different screen logic. So for example, filters, etc. Everything can change depending on which micro vertical we are talking about. And we have ready solutions for those. Everything getting added in the cart, you see discounts being applied. Yeah, Prakash.
Jagpreet, there are many questions in the chat. I don't think you're able to see the chat, but you might want to take 5 minutes to answer some of those questions. If you want, I can read some of them for you. So let me know once you come to some logical break.
So I think I'll take 3-4 more minutes. I think it's 3.5 minutes. Maybe I'll take 5 more minutes, 6 more minutes to finish it off.
Himanshu has been answering. Himanshu has been answering, so you continue. Okay. Let him answer.
Great. Thank you so much, Himanshu. Thanks, Prakash. Yeah, so OTP can also be generated. Typically we want that the salesperson is booking, but there could be a clash with dealer ultimately. So we can also give an OTP to the dealer on the fly and take the OTP to make sure that the order is confirmed. Just to add, we also have WhatsApp integration. The order can be pushed on the WhatsApp to my customers. So this order is booked. We can see order lines. And then order status, which Raman was also talking about. This comes with ERP integration. We can see what is the shipment status. So while booking order as well, I want to highlight that the system can actually check the credit limit, etc. It can actually push for approvals if required, or otherwise it can just take the order and push it to the ERP automatically without intervention as well. So that depends, how we want the flow, but all those possibilities are there in the system, built in. So we are looking at status-wise, orders. Expense management through the system, whether it is local expense, where all your visits are anyways captured, the distances are captured, we can use formulae. Or if somebody is traveling outside, a senior person, so he can also claim, travel, food, hotel, etc., and very comfortably on the phone itself. Bill pictures can be taken. Then, for distributors and dealers, we have apps and we have web application. We can give almost everything that a dealer would need, including collaboration. Now, this is Teams call. Actually, he can make team call from his system itself. So I was talking about collaboration. So everything that a dealer needs, whether it is my details, he's looking at booking orders, looking at the orders that he's booked. So everything can be done. Order status, he can check, he's actually booking an order here. So this on the system, he can book orders for himself, which is his purchase order to the company, or he can book orders for his retailers also. In paints and all, these scenarios are common. So those can also be done. Then, maybe I'll go with the flow. So this is the bot he can use on the application. So he can check for the scheme related claims or order status or any other information about the product, anything that he needs. He's asking for order status as of now. The system asks for the order number, and quickly it can throw the information on the status of the order. As I said, the invoices can be seen, whether they are primary invoices coming from the company or they are actually invoices that he wants to generate to his secondary. Those possibilities are also there. His retail 360 is also available. So, I will just briefly talk about what all can be done on the DMS. So one is about his information. Second is order booking, looking at product schemes. The scheme claims can also be done through the application itself. Entire scheme management is available. Then, you can have joint marketing programs which can be done. He can, so let's say if there are teams which are booking secondary orders, he's able to see the orders, he can process the orders in terms of converting orders into invoices and then shipping the material from his premise. The stock management can also be done. Complaints can be handled, various kinds of complaints, and going to the relevant teams with SLAs can be handled. Then, van sales situations are also there in cement, where there are, let's say, generally dealers may or may not get engaged. Generally, companies are doing it directly, but, those, if you're doing jointly with them, those are also available. Then, he can check everything, he can check his current status of payments. He can see, what is the, let's say, credit available, or what is the credit situation, etc. All those things. So if there is any block, he can make the payment and start booking the order, etc. So other than that, as I talk about, we have influencer apps, we have retailer apps. We also can give some kind of apps for the customers. So with that, I'll end this session here. And I would actually want to pass it on. So this is Aadhaar-based OTP confirmation on, certain things, certain transactions. So I would want to pass it on to Prakash for talking more about the AI and ChatGPT integrations. Unless there are any questions which are unanswered, I can maybe scroll through. I hope, my colleague Himanshu would have already answered most of the questions.
There might be a few, Jagpreet, that
I
require an
think, yeah,
answer.
I think one question is what apps you have for key account management. I think I spoke about it. We have complete BD. Yeah. So in fact, we have BD apps. Second, there are, so if there is marketing which we are doing. In fact, a lot of companies are engaging with architects and contractors. So whether they are BD activities or marketing activities, we have applications for those. And then starting from making the presentation of the products to, let's say, getting the BOM for the large projects, getting the key stakeholders, opportunity management, going through the entire cycle of sales, from coming to the list of make to engaging with the contractors, and then submitting bids through contractors, and then winning, and then negotiation. So all that, the entire application is there, including booking and then managing the supplies. So financial supply chain also, in a way, in sales can also be managed through this. So collection cycle. So I hope I answered this question, but if still you feel there are any questions which are unanswered, maybe we can also connect one by one with you, and try to give more detailed demonstration around the area that you're looking at, because this was more of a 1 hour kind of a session where we had to be talking about a lot of things. So my apologies if I could not explain something in very detail, but we can definitely take up questions if required. Over to Prakash.
Hey, Jagpreet, thanks for such a lovely description of all the details. So I'll just do two slides. This is the first slide, and then I will take them through a demo on what's new that has come up in Power Automate and how things will change. So this Azure OpenAI service brings in a lot of stuff, which is very useful for us. It can do classification of text, and Jagpreet already explained a couple of those things. It can answer questions. You can create dialogues. It can do things like poem creation, but we will use it more from marketing perspective to summarize text, to create outlines, to extract insights, create virtual assistants, etc. So and it can help in writing assistance. So when you are, creating descriptions of your product, how you can create a peppy kind of, disposition to the description. All those kind of things are there. And this just limitless in terms of what you can get from few lines of inputs that you provide. The apps that will come in near future will have five characteristics. First, it will have to be enterprise trust and enterprise scale security. So unlike some of our competitors, the data that goes into our cloud, your data, we don't use for marketing, we don't use to build AI models or whatever it is. Your data, you keep it, you can take it wherever you want to take it. There is something called co-pilots coming. I just do one demo, which is more of a video of it, but we are getting into collaborative apps. So while Jagpreet showed an app, there will be one more button on that app which is saying chat. And when the person clicks that chat button on the app, it will start Teams, and you can start collaborating on Teams. If you have seen, if there's a Word, Excel, PowerPoint document on SharePoint and two people simultaneously edit, you can see what both are doing. There'll be two cursors with the image of those two persons. Something similar is happening to apps. So when someone is taking an order who is in the field, at the same time, a manager can be also on the same record. I can start seeing the record, and they can start a chat conversation around that record. The person might be new, he might not know how to put in the discount, or they might be discussing something in terms of the value, etc. So those will be collaborative apps. Fusion teams are those teams where the UI and all is simplified and a slightly lower skilled person can do, but the logic will be with complex people. So you have a fusion of different kind of skills that are coming to, do things. And then there is a hyper automation, automatically start looking at things and doing things. So these things will start coming in, and the entire AI is coming as co-pilot. And what this will do is, instead of you trying to work with tools, the tools will become creative assistants to you. Instead of you putting in data, the only thing you can start getting output from the on the app. Instead of trying to follow commands, you will write and say, this is what I want to do. Like the one I showed when I opened up the Bing chat and I started, writing in my human language what I wanted the system to do, like show me the best style brands in Mumbai, etc. And then instead of, using specialized language to build these apps, natural language, because Jagpreet and team will build those power apps for those apps for you using power apps or a low code, no code and a pro code capability. But at some point of time, you might want to start managing themselves. And we have done enough in our apps to, create some of these co-pilots. The co-pilot thing I want to show you, I'll show you in a minute's time. But if you look at some of the use cases that will come new over and above what Jagpreet showed to you, would be something like this. In your innovation hub, there could be a way to auto-complete potential innovation, analyzing customer trends, calling out insights. So as the person is visiting, he can start taking feedback from the retail, from the distributors, from the consumers, and all that can start go and allow R&D managers to realize what is it that the customer wants. Like your frontline people who might be in production or who might be in the field, whatever defects they are getting, the images and all can start coming, and that can start driving product quality. So once you start digitizing, it's not only the transaction that is going into your ERP and the money and the products are flowing, all these other things also start flowing. A brand manager can start creating better branding content because now you have a large language model that is supporting whatever you're doing. And you would have field sellers, etc. Since we are almost up on time, I will just go to one demo. This is not also the full demo, it is a part of the demo. But here what you will see is how new simple apps are getting built and eventually more complex apps will get built. And this is what is the future, and this is what Jagpreet and team have started working on now to even make it easier for the way the application will be used in the field. So let me play this. There's an expert who is this person without hair who is trying to explain to other person how new apps will be
May
built, how
of
new power apps
2021,
will be built.
we released Power Apps Ideas,
We can
which
hear
uses
the
the
voice now.
GPT-3
Sure.
language all the way through to an app. So this has been something we've been working with for a long time. What we're really excited about today is the productivity gains and ease of use that this will bring to a first-time maker.
So I've seen all the excitement about GPT-3. What's new about bringing it to Power Apps?
So what you would have seen is a lot of the public models working with ChatGPT. The stuff that you're going to play with today is actually bringing it directly into Power Apps to do two main things. The first, make makers way more productive. And then the second part is how we bring that to users so you can actually add your own app copilot into your app that can answer questions about data for you.
So how easy is this? I can just like shout out to Power Apps and tell it what I want it to build?
The how easy it is I'm not even going to demo it today. You
What?
are going to demo it.
Okay.
That's how easy it is.
So I just come here and I just tell it the app I want.
Yeah. Open up Power Apps,
All
tell
right.
it what app you want to build.
So I was just talking with a customer. They were building an equipment tracking app. So let's build that.
In those descriptions, you can be as detailed or as brief as you want. One of the real interesting things that we've seen is people can come in. Some people.
So this is how Power Apps are built. Typically, we go and start using the icons below here. But here right now, we have created a new feature where you just write what kind of app you want to build.
People are really brief. They say equipment tracking. Some people say, hey, I would really like, and they're very polite to the bot.
Do I have to be polite to the AI or is it okay?
You should be polite to the copilot, but no, you don't have to. You can be as brief as you would like.
Okay. I'll try to be kind to it. So this is cool. So it generated some sample data so I can kind of get a feel for how this is going to look in Dataverse.
It first of all interpreted that natural language.
So what is being shown here is the person says, build this kind of app for me. It understands the words, it understands the context, it uses the AI to go and bring some sample data and start creating the way the app would look. And then the person gives more chat commands to modify it. So this will continue for 3-4 minutes, after which we'll probably
It then
bring
used
this to a
sources
close.
from the internet to create a base schema. So it said you want the ID, you want the name, you want equipment. It then also generated some sample data on top of that. We mapped that to our data types, and it's given you a preview as here in the first step.
And I see that it looks like it's taking advantage of Dataverse here. Like this is a real auto number column.
Yeah, so we've actually mapped the schema that we get back from Copilot directly into those data types that we have from Dataverse. So as you'll see, they go through, we make that first mapping. You can actually now ask it for some changes if you'd like as well.
So let's have it just add an employee number. So employee numbers are 8 digits, we'll say.
Yep, you can ask it for exactly what you want to do just in natural language.
It's nice to have a few rows of sample data too. Can I more?
You can just ask it, Phil. You don't have to ask me to ask Copilot.
Clay, can I have more?
Ask the Copilot directly.
Okay. Make more sample data, please. Because you coach me to be polite.
It'll appreciate that. One thing we've learned, honestly, is the best thing to do is ask it. And the worst thing it can do is come back and say, sorry, I don't know how to do that, or I can't do that for some reason.
Now I noticed here that it did equipment as a text column. It should probably be a choice. So you're saying I just ask it?
You just ask it, Phil. You don't have to start again. You can just ask it exactly what changes you want it to make.
Make equipment a choice column. Oh, so that's pretty cool. All right, so here I can see now equipment has become a choice column.
Yeah.
So I just build the app then. Just click create app.
Click create app. What it's going to go do now is create that table for you in Dataverse and build an app on top of it. And while nothing you did was particularly complex, think about the number of clicks and steps that you saved yourself just by asking the Copilot to do it for you. But also for first-time makers who might be building their first app, they've been able to come in here, use a really simple description, and get a table, data created, and an app generated on top of it.
Okay, so here's my app, but I'm not looking at my app. I'm looking at what, GPT?
You're looking at a modern, intelligent app.
Clay, are you implying that of my app and me, only one of us is modern and intelligent?
You're doing okay, but your app is really impressive.
Fair, okay.
And so based on just your prompt you started with and those instructions, you've actually created a couple of things. One, a traditional app that you're familiar with is still actually there. It's just on the second screen. But what you've got on this first screen is the app Copilot. So this is that same conversational power, but built into your app for you so that you can now ask questions about the data within your app.
So I can ask it a question about my data. So let's ask this first one it's suggesting. What is the most popular equipment item that is checked out? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the cool part about this is this isn't just like a public chat API that you're asking information, like general information about the internet. This is actually connected and using the data that you have within your app. So just like in Power Apps, how you can connect a data source to a table or a form or a gallery, now you can also connect it to the app Copilot and get this power of conversation over your data.
So we have to look at the app that it built in. So let's take a look at that. And so it looks like basically everything I usually have a 3-screen app for, but all in one screen.
So I'll pause this here. This is the regular app that we typically build and what Jagpreet was showing you. And what was done here is a simple app with just one table to kind of, track equipment, etc. was built, but it also created a homepage where it added the ability to chat and ask for this information. So this is what will be new and will be coming. It's only a matter of time. Instead of typing, we can start speaking to it. It's just that there's too much happening right now. And that's where I would like to pause and say that we are in very, very exciting times coming in the way all this will work. And this is today available in preview with us, and there is a waiting list. So sooner you can get all your data into the cloud, sooner you can start using the magic of AI. I think the way we look at apps, traditionally log into something, see form, column, put something, look at reports, have some automation, driving some emails, etc. All that is going to change, and your interface to apps will be your conversational stuff. And we saw it not only in terms of using, but also in terms of building this. And this is where I will pause. And the sooner we start our journeys digitizing more, we'll be better off. It is assumed that in the Western world, the high spenders on IT like banks, etc., use 5% of their sales turnover into IT as expense and investment on an annual basis. In India, we see it 0.5%, 1% in traditional companies, and maybe 1% or 2% in banks. And it's only going to increase. And as it increases, the effectiveness, efficiencies will increase, and the ability for a smaller organization to take on a bigger organization, expand across India will be significantly higher. I distantly remember many years back when GST had just come in and I was in Chennai talking to a pickle manufacturer. He was saying now because of GST, instead of just working in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and parts of Andhra, I can start working all over India. I think with the roads and the e-invoicing and other things that are happening, this kind of technology coming from data centers which are within India, meeting all regulatory requirements, will just transform the way businesses is. Those businesses which start first, get a competitive edge, understand and use smart partners like Zoxima and Microsoft, will be winning much more than those who don't, step into this area. With this, I like to pause. I will put the link to the whole video, which is on YouTube, in the chat. But let's use the balance time, if any, that is left, for question answers, etc. So I'll just pause my screen.
Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, many thanks. I understand this is year ending as well. So, but you found time, you joined us. Many thanks for joining in. And I wish a great year closing for everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.